Hello and welcome back to another movie review. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Last Night in Soho. I know it has been a little while. I'm going to get things back on track, and then I'll do an actual proper update video. Until then, let's enjoy Edgar Wright's got a new film. Now, I've made it no secret that I absolutely love Edgar Wright's work. I don't think the man has made a bad movie yet. Sure, I could rank them and say like The World's End or maybe even Scott Pilgrim vs. the World aren't as strong as like Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead, or Hot Fuzz. But that feels pedantic because they're all great movies and we should all enjoy them. So when I hear that Edgar Wright's got a new film coming out and he's dipping his toes into the horror genre, I am like, sign me up. And I can say wholeheartedly that this is good. Ish. Damn it. Okay, a little bit on the exaggerating side, but yeah, this movie, it's an A. It really is. It's an A that's stuck inside of like a C's cage. There are so many great things about this. A lot of really great performances. A lot of amazing visuals. The soundtrack will blow your mind. And as always, Edgar Wright is putting everything he has into this film. You can feel the passion in every single scene. But then it'll just suddenly hit you with something that's so stock and stale from the horror genre, it really undercuts the rest of the movie. This movie is like begging for one or two more rewrites just to fix a few things. I was straining so much my arm popped. And in truth, I really wanted it to be just that little bit better so I can guarantee and say this is absolutely going to be on my best list this year. But I can say that it's still a contender, but it's on shakier ground than I want it to be. If you're looking for just a yes or no, should you go see it? The answer is an obvious yes. This movie is great. It's very much enjoyable. It's more horror drama than actual like straight on horror thriller. And I think going in with that mindset will leave a better impression on you than did me, who thought I was getting more of a thriller out of it. But unfortunately, I do need to go into some spoilers and things to kind of demonstrate what I mean by this being an A movie trapped in a C cage. So as always, if you don't want any spoilers, you just want the recommendation, here's the time code to skip to. I'll see you at the end. For everyone else, let's start off with the positives. So the first and foremost positive is it's an Edgar Wright film. The thing looks goddamn gorgeous. Every shot, every frame, every second. You can tell this man knows what he's doing, and he uses so many inventive camera angles and sweeping shots, long takes that feel seamless and smooth. When there's a stunt that needs to be done, it really does feel like he got actual stuntmen and didn't leave it to the CGI team. But it's not like he didn't give them anything to do, because when they needed the CGI, it's very effective. The design for some of these ghouls and ghosts that start popping up, they're simple yet terrifying, and the way they just kind of appear in the background and slowly walk towards the main character, you get real good It Follow vibes from this. It's genuinely creepy and off-putting. And I absolutely love this idea that you can't go home and just sleep in your bed, because every night you get visited by these things, or do you go to them? It's not really made clear, but in a very good way. Yeah, this movie establishes that the main character inside of this is kind of psychic. They don't really explain how. All we know is that she can either see the dead, kind of Sixth Sense style, and or she can have premonitions of the past, a la Dead Zone. It's kind of both, but it really does work, especially when the past and the present start mixing and she can't tell what's real anymore. And that's actually a really good segue into talking about the lead herself, played by Thomasin McKenzie. I apologize if I butchered that. I'll just call her by her character name Eloise, just for simplicity's sake, and so I don't keep butchering her actual name. But the movie starts off with her pretty much establishing that she can see dead people with her dead mom hovering in mirrors every now and then. She's obsessed with the 60s and the past because it's a much better time, and it's always better in the past because that's how it always is. But she's off to university so that she can get a degree inside of fashion and hopefully make a big splash in the world. Only when she gets to London, things aren't quite the way that she wants them to be. Everyone's pretty much a creep. She hates it. She has to move out of her place pretty much immediately. And then she starts dreaming of the past, which seems perfect. Only as these visions keep going on, they get progressively worse, and she starts to realize that you probably shouldn't look at the past with nostalgia goggles. Eloise's actress in these scenes starts out with a wide-eyed naivety and optimism that is kind of infectious. You can tell that she's been through a lot and that she kind of knows that things aren't great in the world, but she's still optimistic and hopeful that she can find something good in it. But once her idyllic version of the past starts to really crumble underneath her, you can really see the toll it's taking on her psyche. This is a person who just had everything broken about her. And her actress plays these flawlessly, especially in the back and forth scenes with Anya Taylor-Joy, another name I probably butchered, but is a slightly easier name to say. While the advertisements will let you think that she's also a main character in this, she's more of a very, very important supporting character. Everything that happens with Anya Taylor-Joy is in the past, so she's only there for the scenes when they jump back into the 60s. And again, she's doing an amazing job, especially with the mirror tricks with Eloise's actress in the reflection and sometimes switching back and forth. Some of the dance sequences alone should get them some kind of cinematography nod. You definitely get the feeling from all of these sequences that the dream is just that, a dream that you need to wake up from. But you can't because it's quickly turning into a living nightmare. And a lot of that subtle change from idyllic dream to nightmare can be associated with Matt Smith's character, who is deliciously evil inside of all of this movie. This man is having fun. He knows he's playing a scumbag. He is enjoying every second of playing that scumbag, and it so carries this movie. I like the lead inside of this, but honestly, I think that he steals the show here because every time you cut to him, he is just unabashedly evil. He steals every scene that he's in, and when he's walking towards you, it's damn near the most terrifying thing in this film. And it's these performances and more that really do elevate this film so much. I hope to God that both Matt Smith and the lead Eloise, because I can't say her actress's actual name, do get Oscar nods. I don't think that maybe they're going to win, but I think they should get them nonetheless. Unfortunately, that kind of leads me into the negative because I don't think that this is going to be even considered, mostly because they're not the only performances in the movie. This story about nostalgia and naivety blinding you to what it was actually like in the past versus what's actually like in the future is a great story. And we have amazing actors and actresses with a director behind the camera who is putting everything he has to make this shot beautiful. And then you just have a stock bully character from a Stephen King film from the 80s. Oh, not good enough? We've got ourselves a boyfriend who's so understanding and sympathetic when he really shouldn't be in some of these scenes. And as much as I can praise the ghosts inside of this movie for being really creepy and well utilized, when you actually learn the story of what's happening and why they're attacking her and all these things, it just makes you wonder why the fuck they're just jumping out going boo all the time. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but these stock horror cliches are just dragging this movie down from being what it could be. Let's start with the stock bully character played by Sinova Carlson. God damn, these names are just killing me today. Carlson's character inside of this is just every stock mean girl bully you've seen since Mean Girls. Pretty, stuck up, comes from a rich background, thinks they're all that when they can't do shit. Everything that you can possibly think of as a stock bully character, she is. I will admit, though, her actress and the way that she acts inside of this does some subtle things like a nod or a look here that kind of feels like it's fighting the script to make her seem like she's not actually the stock bully character, because she's really not all that mean. Her actions don't really match up with the words on the script. Everything this stock bully character says comes straight out of the stock Mean Girl bully book that we've all read 1,000 times in every single film. But if you actually watch this actress, just give a subtle look or nod or anything like that, you kind of get that this person is a lot deeper than that. They want to be all that, but they're not actually the mean girl they're pretending to be. But no, this is almost entirely just the actress and her performance, not really the script that she's been given. She is elevating this as best she can, but she still comes off as a stock bully character and pretty much only exists in this movie just to be a red herring when they think that someone might have spiked Eloise's drink. But she's got nothing on the boyfriend character inside of this, who is, again, very understanding and just perfect and sweet and says everything he needs to say at the perfect time and is absolutely willing to march into danger for this girl he's known for a week. This is not a slam against his actor, Michael Ajo. I'm not even going to attempt that. This is not a slam on his actor, because his actor is doing a very fine job with crap material. The problem is crap material here. No joke. Replace him with that dumbass from Black Christmas and nothing changes. It's literally almost line for line the same level of perfect understanding. And you might understand why I might have a problem with this character. Especially in the second act, where I won't spoil it. Let's just say that he's in the room when something goes down, and he should not be as understanding about it the next day as he is in this movie. And that brings us right around to the ghosts and ghoulies inside of this, because their actions in this don't really make sense considering the main goal of everything. Now for this part, I will actually have to spoil a bit, so I will put that reminder of the time code, because this pretty much is the ending of the movie I'm about to talk about in detail. So if you don't want to hear that, skip here. Speak now, forever hold your peace. So everything that's happening in this movie, pretty much up until the third act, is that we believe that Matt Smith's character has grown old and he's gotten away with multiple murders and that we have to stop him. But it turns out that's not what's happening. He's actually dead. And all of the ghosts and things we keep seeing, which they kind of play off as just visions that are trying to torment this girl in the present, they're actually spirits of the dead calling out for help because they're literally stuck in the floorboards underneath her bed, begging for her to call the police, get them help, stop their murderer, who turns out to be the old lady that owns the apartment that Eloise is living in, which I will give credit. Great twist. Really great twist. But then it just makes me think, why were they going boo every single time they popped up? Why is it instead of, going after their murderer, they went after Eloise? But also, at the end, when they finally reveal their true intention and try to give her the phone to call 911 to get help, they beg her to help them. And she says no, because they were all horrible, horrible pigs back in the past. Like, they deserve the death they got, which justifies the killer in this. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is a clean situation. These people were clearly horrible, horrible pigs and monsters and abusers and all this shit. But you are comparing them to the woman who murdered at least 30 or 40 people over the course of, multiple decades. And that left a bad taste in my mouth. That doesn't really factor into everything else. It's mostly just the ghosts not really having an objective and just doing standard stock horror jump out and scare people things when they really shouldn't be. But that does still leave a bad taste in my mouth. Especially when Eloise ends up actually killing probably someone who was innocent in all of this. Just saying. And with all that, I hope you understand exactly why I really, really think this movie has a lot of really great things going for it. It's an A trapped in that C that just won't let it out most nights. If they could get rid of some of the stock horror stuff, if they could flesh out and make these characters who are really bad a little more believable, this could be an easy A+ on my top 10, maybe even my top 5 of the year. But when you get right down to it, they didn't do that. They went with the stock, they went with the bully, went with the perfect boyfriend who didn't have a care in the world, and it just drags this movie down. So personally, my final verdict for this whole movie is see it in theaters. That's a bit higher than you think I would give it, considering how long I ranted about this, but what's good is great there. It's amazing. It's beautiful, and I really want to support it, especially since this is an original IP. It is something that I have begged horror films to do for a very long time. I will take mistakes here if I get more films like this. But I still have to be honest with myself, and in the filmography of Edgar Wright, this is probably one of his weaker films, unfortunately. He tried something new. I would love to see him try something like this again, maybe with just a slightly better script. But there's no denying that he just fell back on some horror cliches when he clearly couldn't come up with something else. So once again, my rating, see it in theaters. You won't be disappointed. And that's it for me. Did you enjoy the video? Have you seen The Last Night in Soho? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments down below. Let's get some healthy discussion going. And as always, if you like what you saw, be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things that help the channels grow, and so that I might actually one day be able to do this consistently. I know that's more on me than on you, but still. Also, I do stream every single Thursday night, which those streams have moved over to Twitch so that I do not overload this channel with game Let's Play footage. I will probably start doing some kind of edited highlights reel, but that's later down the road. And yeah, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. And hopefully I'll stay back this time.